Bum, 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 a clang, lang, lang, a ding, along, ding, dong, blue, blue, the moon.
Hold up the car, stop the traffic, get out the barricades. It's time for Mickey B's Jukebox Review.
You're with Mickey B right here on the Jukebox Review on MadhouseTV.com. Another Tuesday night, and we're in store for great music. We got Frankie D down there in Port St. Lucie. Frankie, what are you doing, kid?
Mickey, I'm glad to be with you tonight. What a night we're going to have with that Motown sound.
That's right, and joining us tonight is a group that we had on a show just recently at the Patchogue Theater. They're called The Fellas. They pay tribute to, of course, the Temptations. And we want to welcome here tonight Joe Rivera. Joe Rivera, always a pleasure to see you. We have Roman Barksdale.
Hey.
Roman, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
With that high voice, you know, right?
Yes.
I always wanted to have a voice like him. And Louis Mercado. Now, we got a little thing about all of you because let's start off with a little bit of the history here.
Yes,
how we came to of course, the Fellas now. But Joe Rivera, I know you a long time from Earl Lewis and the Channels.
Earl Lewis and the Channels.
How many years were you with Earl?
14 years.
14 years.
14 years.
It's a long time. We're one of the
Yes.
greatest groups in the rock and roll business.
Thank you.
And you guys did some job with Earl, you know?
I appreciate
And
that.
I wish one day I could get Earl back on the stage again. He's like in a semi-retirement out there because there's so many people that he would give so much pleasure to when he gets on the stage. And we're still going to work on that, you know?
We're
Still
gonna do
working on
that.
it, yeah. How did you decide, I mean, after the Earl Lewis, I mean, what was happening? Before Earl, were you singing with other people as well?
Before Earl, actually, I'm going back to 1978. I was singing with Luis Mercado here,
Uh-huh.
and we had an a cappella group in high school. And Louis showed me the ropes, how to sing and how to hit the harmony notes together. And Louis and I became very good friends over the
Right.
years. And we were in different groups. And at that time when we were in different groups, I met Roman Barksdale. And
Okay.
Roman was the lead singer of the band that we were in. It was called Perfection. And Roman was the lead singer. And I
Mhm.
was the keyboard player there.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Let's talk to Louis Mercado. We sound like we've got a boat is pulling in right now. A boat's out in there, which means somebody must be on a cruise, you know? But anyway, you met, I mean, I know you from a group called the
Fabulaires.
Fabulaires.
Right.
Another great group. But how did you meet with this gentleman?
Okay. That was back in 1978. We both attended a high school in the Bronx called Bronx High School of Science. I was a freshman. Joe was a sophomore. And Joe was doing homework. He wanted to be a baseball player. That's what he wanted to do. He had no idea what anything was to do with doo-wop. I loved doo-wop, and that was what I wanted to do. So I was looking for guys to form a group. So I spotted him, and I was dating a girl that he was friends with, and through her I met him. So I caught him doing his homework. I said, listen, I need a first tenor. He said, what's a first tenor?
What's the first time?
So I showed him, back in those days, we had that Crazy Eddie commercial, remember when they were in the bathroom? Whoa, right? So I said, this is what I want you to do. And what I told him was, listen to me, but don't listen to me. Do the note I give you. And so once he got it, he took to it like a fish in water. We went and we started recruiting other guys, and we would teach them what we knew. And we had a group. We called it, at first we called it A Cappella Soul. Then we had a few changes, and we wound up singing on the number 4 train up to school. So we called it Uptown Express, because we would sing on the train. And every day by the flagpole at 8 o'clock before school, me and Joe would be there recruiting or singing every single day. And we would sing, and we would write songs, and we would, stay at each other's houses. And he would come over to my house. We'd sit there all night and just write songs. And so eventually what wound up happening was Joe went and started doing his thing, and stints with different a cappella groups, and he wound up with the Channels, and which is funny because he wound up inducted into the Doo-Wop Hall of Fame. Was singing with the Paradons a few years ago, and then we left the Paradons and became the Fabulaires, which is what I do now.
Right.
I also sing with the Chords, the original Shaboom, Life Could Be a Dream guys out of the Bronx.
Well, you've been around a while.
I've been doing this a long time, and me and Joe have been best friends through thick and thin together. And this actual group has its origins in 1989, where we were called Vision.
That's right.
And it was me, Joe, Ricky Wright, and one of our other friends from high school, Andrew Roden. And we were doing this exact same routine.
Doing the Motown. Isn't that something? Hey, Frankie D, these guys are singing almost as long as you.
Almost, I'm not too long. I'm only 5'7".
Now we got Roman Barksdale. Now Roman, we were just you were thrown into that conversation because you met Joe Rivera. Where was it?
Wow. I met Joe Rivera. I was in a rap group.
A rap group.
I was in a rap group.
How many years
and,
ago?
Wow. This was around This was around 1981, 82, something like that. I'm laughing because Joe had a big afro at the time.
Yeah.
And it was a rap group with me and Machine. We was at the Sugar Hill label.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe came in as our keyboard player. Didn't have a clue that Joe could sing, but Joe was an awesome keyboard player. Awesome. One day, we decided to go into a studio on our own. It was Joe, myself, and the rest of the band, and I was playing guitar. And these studio sessions, I discovered Joe had a heck of a voice, impeccable leadership qualities in the studio as well. Anyway, one thing led to another, and Joe and I decided to form a group, and we called it Perfection.
Had to live up to that name.
Yes, we we did. Once again, like I said, this was back in the early '80s, and let me tell you, Joe had the back, and then he also had the keyboard that you hang and you play it like this, and singing at the same time. So Joe was awesome. Joe was, as we said, Joe was a beast. Always.
Okay.
And
What we're going to do right now is, Frankie D,
Yeah, Mick.
you love the Temptations, right?
Oh, Mickey, I love the Temptations. I'll tell you, Mickey, here's a group of 4 guys, okay, that sang doo-wop. They sang jazz. They sang soul music, R&B, disco, adult contemporary, show tunes. Can you imagine that? And here's a group of 4 guys that stayed together for 4 decades.
Yeah, a long time and absolutely fabulous.
1953 to 97.
Let me tell you.
Unbelievable.
Well, let me tell you something. The fellas, and I think we're missing a guy or two, right?
Yes, we are. We're missing our first tenor tonight,
And what is his name?
Joe Quay
Joe Quay.
Devonish.
Yeah. And we're going to do some live songs later on, even with the missing third, right?
Yes,
missing
we are.
fourth, actually.
Will,
yes.
But what I want to do right now, Frankie says he loves the Temptations. I know there was a great song that you guys did, sort of on stage, called I'm Losing You.
Okay.
Okay, so what we're going to do right now is go to this clip. Watch this. Here's the fellas.
Say
Right here with Mickey B and I'm Losing You, right here on Madhouse TV. Joe Rivera, and of course, we have Roman Barksdale, Lou Mercado, and I tell you, that's a great clip. I love that clip.
Thank you.
I love the choreography. Tell me a little bit about this choreography. So anyway, you go on from Earl Lewis, and when do you form the Fellas?
Well, I gotta, I do Facebook, and
Uh-huh.
I found some of the old guys from the group on Facebook, and they were saying, why don't we get the group back together again? And I was singing with Earl Lewis at the time, and it took a lot of thought for me to do this, to leave
Yeah.
a very successful group like Earl Lewis and the Channels.
Uh-huh.
And I approached Earl, and I said, Earl, this is what I really wanted to do. And I got Earl's blessings. It wasn't an easy thing for Earl,
Yeah.
losing a man, because
Right.
it's never easy to lose a guy. You got to replace him.
Of
and you got
course.
to teach him the choreography. So, but Earl was very graceful. He was very good about it, and he gave me his blessings. And I sought out Lewis and Joe Quay, and we had another lead singer, Ricardo Wright, out of
Right.
Detroit, Michigan. He was David Ruffin incarnate. He was very much so.
What a
David
great
Ruffin.
group, great group. What we're going to do is take a little break now. When we come back, we have more from Frankie D down in Port St. Lucie, Florida, more from the Fellas and Mickey B, the Prince of Rock and Roll, and more on Motown when the Prince returns. So don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
Brooklyn's best locksmith and hardware.
We have 3 of the largest showrooms of safes on display and in stock. You can see and touch them in person instead of browsing a catalog. We carry gun and rifle safes, burglary safes, jewelry safes, fire rated from a half hour to 2 hour. Famous name brands.
We sell Gardol.
We sell AMSAC.
The new AMSAC touchscreen.
If you're ever in need of a safe, think Brooklyn's best locksmith and hardware. Right, Lockie?
That's right, Alan.
Are you planning an event and want to include entertainment, but you're not sure where to turn? Act1Entertainment.net has provided over 1,500 events with quality, affordable live entertainment at private parties, corporate affairs, festivals, bike rallies, and more. Act 1 will fit into your budget. They're friendly, reliable, and do all the legwork for you. They take all major credit cards. Log on to Act1Entertainment.net for a free, no obligation.
For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing.
We're back here live. It's Tuesday night. 8 o'clock tonight, every Tuesday, we go back over the history of rock and roll. Tonight, we're doing a little bit of Motown. And Frankie D, what was it about Motown that you really enjoyed?
That different sound, Mickey. That great harmonies, that backbeat. It had a backbeat to it,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it rumbled in the back. And some terrific harmonies, the footwork, me and dancing. I
Yep.
mean, the dancing was unbelievable. I mean, they took it to another level.
Yes.
And there was just some great music, great writing. The lyrics were terrific. Everything about it just, overwhelmed everybody, Mickey.
Let me ask the group.
Great time in music.
When we talk about the Funk Brothers,
Oh, man.
what do you say about those guys, Joe?
And those guys are very underrated up until when the movie had been released about 3 or 4 years ago. I mean, you've had the consummate bass player, James Jamerson, who was, it's been said that he played on his back the session for Marvin Gaye's What's Going On.
Yeah.
You had drummers like Benny Benjamin and guitar players Eddie Willis And even not only the Funk Brothers, but you had the Andantes, the female backup singers, who
Yes.
sang up on a lot
Right.
of the Four Tops hits.
Mhm.
And you could hear them very much so on their records. And together, they combine more hits than anyone as a group for maybe 2 or 3 decades.
Yeah.
Just that one band.
Just amazing, huh? Yeah. What's one of your favorite Motown songs?
Oh, well, and it became my favorite because I would listen to Joe do it every single day, do the lead on My Girl.
On My Girl.
That's like the
What do you say
national
about that?
anthem.
Frankie D, a song like My Girl written by Smokey Robinson.
Smokey Robinson, unbelievable, brilliant. There's a genius. That was the genius of Motown right there. Smokey Robinson. Not only did he write, sing, he found these people too. I mean, unbelievable. What a great tune.
You know, when we talk about Motown, we can't leave out a real doo-wopper that was involved in the Motown sound. But he also sang doo-wop. Do you know who I'm talking about? Mr. Harvey Fuqua.
That's right.
That's right. Harvey
right.
Fuqua from the Moonglows was very, very heavy influence into the Motown recording sessions.
Very much so.
Yeah, it was just an amazing sound, you know. And when you think about all these groups that came up, you talk about the Marvelettes.
Right.
But the Marvelettes were really more on the Tamla record label, and they were more of that pop music, oldies type music, right? You wouldn't consider them really a Motown sound. But then you also came back with somebody called Mary Wells, who also had a little bit, and she was on that label as well.
Yes, she was.
But that Motown sound really generated, you know, I guess with the Stevie Wonders and the Four Tops and the Temptations and those and Smokey Robinson and all those people, you know.
Right.
Yeah. I want to do something for you right now. I'm going to go back with a little Motown sound once again.
Right.
We're going to go back with a group that was called the Primes.
The Primes.
Wow.
The Primes.
Remember these guys? You remember
Yeah.
the Primes?
You remember the Primes? Those
Yeah.
Primes became the Four Tops.
Yes, they did.
And here's what we're going to do. I can't help myself. Right here with Mickey B, the Prince of Rock and Roll. Watch the Four Tops in this one.